one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from the News and Observer out of North Carolina. The Durham Symphony Orchestra will mark a historic first Friday evening tonight when it performs the world premiere of a piece by a composer who died in police custody. Herman Whitfield III's Overture Fanfare in G major will be featured in Voices of the Unarmed, Justice, Love, Resilience, which is a free concert centered around police brutality against unarmed black men. The sold-out show is the brainchild of William Henry Curry, the orchestra's music director, and the only black man to serve in that role in a symphony in the South, and Jesse Rosen, a member of the orchestra's board of directors. Quote, in the symphony orchestra world, we have a reputation of being an elitist ivory tower kind of thing, Curry said in an interview. Curry went on, I've tried to dismantle that entirely. Now, the genesis for the concert came when Rosen introduced Curry to Seven Last Words, a piece by Atlanta-based composer Joel Thompson that features the last words of seven unarmed black men who were killed by others. That theme struck home for Curry, who had mentored Whitfield, a young black composer who died at the hands of police, in his Indiana home in April of 2022. The duo met around 2003 when Curry selected one of Whitfield's pieces for the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. The Indy Star reported, quote, I got to know him and his parents and kept in touch over the next decade as his mentor, Curry recalled. Curry goes on, there was a harrowing day about 2.5 years ago where his mother got in touch with me, and she said that Herman had been having a panic attack at their home, and they called for an ambulance. Instead, several policemen came, and Herman was naked having a panic attack, Curry said. He goes on, he was unarmed, obviously no concealed weapons, and he died while the police were there. Now, Whitfield died after being tased twice by police, according to the Indy Star. He was 39 years old. The officers were found not guilty of multiple charges, including involuntary manslaughter and reckless homicide by a jury in December. That's according to local TV station Fox 59. With Whitfield's death fresh in his mind and Black History Month approaching, that's this month, of course, the time seemed right to perform Thompson's piece, and a clear theme emerged, Curry said. Rather than celebrating romantic love, the Valentine's Day concert will focus on the love found in community, justice, and strength. Quote, the program took a different direction, but is still related to Valentine's Day, said Curry. The concert's program goes as follows. They'll have the Star Spangled Banner by Francis Scott Key and Arturo Toscanini, Fanfare for the Common Man by Aaron Copland, Overture Fanfare in G major by Herman Whitfield III, Seven Last Words of the Unarmed by Joel Thompson, The Moldau by Bedřich Smetana, Eulogy for a Dream, a 17-minute piece by Curry featuring the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Now, before the concert on Thursday and Friday, that's yesterday and tonight, Thompson and Curry will meet with Durham students and teachers to discuss the importance of music in the community. A panel discussion will also be held immediately after the concert, featuring Thompson, Curry, community leaders, and Whitfield's parents and members of law enforcement. Including Whitfield's piece means a lot to Curry, who had asked the late composer's mother, Gladys Whitfield, to search her son's room for any works that hadn't been publicly performed. It took a year, but the search was successful. Quote, she did go through her son's study and found a complete orchestral piece, the orchestral score, and all 34 parts, said Curry. He goes on, it had been decommissioned by a Detroit Youth Symphony, but they sent it back to him saying, rightly so, it was way too difficult for a youth orchestra to play. So there it lay for the next 20 years or so. Rehearsing Whitfield's work for the first time was emotional, Curry recalled. He said, I was, of course, in tears. Number one, it's a masterpiece. Number two, it's a wonderfully poignant work, haunting. Thompson, who will attend Friday's concert, is looking forward to hearing Whitfield's work. He said, you always think as a black composer, yeah, this could be me. This could potentially happen to me. And then here is his experience that stands as a testament to that thought. Now, Rosen and Curry's efforts to encourage community discussion are especially exciting, he added. It gives me hope that this craft to which I've dedicated my life, putting dots on a page, is not completely futile when it comes to making a community and a society a better place, said Thompson. As for the Whitfields, whose transportation and accommodations will be paid for by the orchestra, hearing one of their sons' works performed for the first time will be a bittersweet experience. Quote, I think he would be so happy if he could be here to experience it, but he's not, said Gladys Whitfield. She goes on, so hopefully when we're attending the concert, we can think of him and try to think of how he would feel and try to visualize him being there and give us a moment of happiness. And so there you go. Unfortunately, it's going to be post-mortem, but this Whitfield, who, at 19 composed this beautiful masterpiece, and they said, you know what, at high school, we can't, that's way too difficult. 20 years later, 39 years old, we know what happened. He died in custody, and now his masterpiece will be recorded at the Durham Symphony Orchestra, or by the Durham Symphony Orchestra in Durham, North Carolina. And which really, to sum it up, dreams can come true if you work hard enough for it to happen.